We're going over IRS Notice CP561C. This is a notice that you might receive from the IRS if you have a child with an ATIN that has expired. So in this video, we'll walk through what this notice means. We'll talk about some of the concepts discussed in this notice, and we'll talk about where you can go to get more information. So first thing, let's talk about what an ATIN is. So an adoption taxpayer identification number is intended to be a temporary tax ID number for adoptive parents who are in the middle of processing an adoption for a child that doesn't yet have a social security number. So the long-term intention is for that adopted child to eventually have a social security number through whatever legal process you're going through. So this is obviously intended to be a temporary situation. Generally speaking, the IRS awards extensions in 1-year increments. So if you apply for an ATIN, you'll probably get periodic notices when the ATIN is about to expire, and then those notices should contain information about what you need to do, either if you need to keep that ATIN intact or if you have received a social security number. So in this case, the ATIN has expired, and we're going to go through what you should do in just a moment. The first thing I want to do, as I usually do in these videos, is I'm going to talk about the information at the top of the notice, because it can be important. So in the upper right hand corner, you'll see the notice number, the notice date, contact information for the IRS, and then a reference number. On the left hand side, you'll see the business name, which is erroneous. Businesses generally aren't in the process of adopting children. However, this would be the taxpayer name. So generally speaking, we're talking about a family or family unit that's filing an individual income tax return as opposed to a business tax return. You'll want to make sure that this information is up to date because if there's a response that's required within a certain period of time of the notice date, it'll usually say that in the notice, and any lead time includes the amount of time that your mail is caught up in mail forwarding. So if you want to give yourself, the most space possible, you'll want to keep your name and address up to date with the IRS and your records so that you're getting your IRS correspondence in a timely manner. So if you received a social security number for your child, you would complete the enclosed form 15101, which is the child's social security number. If you don't have one, you would need to reapply for a new ATIN, filing IRS form W7A. So that's the application for taxpayer ID number for pending U.S. adoptions. That you should be familiar with that, because that's the form that you would have completed to get your ATIN in the first place for your child. So if your child's ATIN is still active but you've received a notice, you can file an extension request, IRS form 15100. Once it's expired, you have to actually apply for a completely new ATIN. And then there's additional information. There's a link here we're going to circle back to in just a moment. I'm just going to scroll through here just to see what else there is. So there's a slip that you would detach, return to the IRS with your completed form 15101 if you need to. Make sure that when you're responding to IRS correspondence, you use the information that is in that in the slip instead of the information that's up here. You'll want to make sure that you're using the information that you're directed to. Sometimes these can be two different addresses, so I always advise people to use the slip information, not the letterhead information. Let's take a closer look at what this page says. This is mostly a frequently asked questions. So what's an ATIN? Who needs one? How long is it valid? So basically it says If the adopting parents do not notify the IRS within 2 years, it will be automatically deactivated. It's automatically deactivated after 2 years because it's a temporary ID that can be used for, until a valid social security number is obtained. And again, a notice reminder should be sent 18 months after the ATIN, warning that it's going to expire within 6 months. You can apply for extensions, again, with Form 15100. So there's a bunch of different frequently asked questions here that you can consult if you really need more information. But the bottom line is, if you received this notice, the 561C notice, your ATIN expired, so you're either going to need to provide the Social Security number, or you're going to have to reapply for that ATIN using the Form W7A. So that's all we have for this video. If you have any questions, you can always pop in a comment. We'll put links in the show notes to resources we've created on some of the forums mentioned here. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or if there's another topic that you'd like to see in an upcoming video, please hit us up in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.